I'm Bill Thomas with Rivalry Family Media. We're here at Martingale Wharf. We're having a little lunch with Ryan Preece, my special guest, driver of the number 41 Stewart Haas Racing. Ryan, welcome to Rivalry Family Media.
Yeah, thanks, man. Definitely love New England.
Looking forward to the Crayon 301. I know, you've got some experience up here being a New England guy. Do you call New Hampshire Motor Speedway your home track?
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up in Connecticut and this really being the only track in New England that we go to, I definitely call it my home track. And I grew up coming here. I grew up camping here and riding my bicycle through the merchandise row and all that stuff. So I've had a lot of childhood experiences that I really cherish, and anytime I come up to New England, I love it.
I know your roots are here in New England, a modified racer, started out in the midget division, champion in both, and your roots have always been in the modifieds. And do you feel that coming up through that open wheel ranks where you had to really understand car control, has that helped you now as you progress at the higher levels?
Yeah, absolutely. There's been so much value to racing in modifieds and starting out locally in Connecticut and branching out into the modified tour and everything from there. It's grown a fan base. There's nothing like the New England fans. But as far as the modifieds, 15-inch wide tire, 650, 700 horsepower, 2,600 pounds. They slide around. For me, I felt like there's so many things you can take from that, I feel like there's been so many driving racing experiences that I really value from it.
And as you worked your way up through the ranks, the Truck Series, the Xfinity Series, you've had a couple of opportunities at the top level in the Cup Series. But now driving the 41 for Stewart Haas Racing this year, your first opportunity, was probably your biggest opportunity in your career as far as the funding and the lack of pressure, not having to bring your own money in to upgrade the equipment. I mean, everything's right there for you. And the season's been up and down for you. I mean, coming off a 16th-place finish last week, kept out of trouble for the most part, treacherous Nashville Speedway, But you've been progressing every week, and behind the boss, Kevin Harvick, you're just a handful of points out of the playoff position.
Yeah, no, we're consistency-wise, we've definitely been getting a lot better, and that's everything right now. Building this 41 team to consistently be running and consistently be making gains. We've definitely, for myself and Chad Johnson, my crew chief, it's a new car. It's something different. So we're still trying to find that baseline for how we need to start the races. But I mean, where we are at the end of the races, where my communication and feedback and him and all the knobs he's turning to make me comfortable throughout the race, he does an awesome job. So we're getting there little by little. We've definitely had. We've had some high notes this year for sure with the pole at Martinsville, LA. We led laps, and I felt like we came so close, right? So we're working on it.
And you talk about the communication between you and your crew chief, Chad Johnson, limited practice, and really, you got to really take up to that first pit stop sometimes as your really race preparedness practice and make some very important changes, because you don't know how many opportunities you're going to get. And I think between you and your crew chief, that's really important. Yeah,
and right now, it's tough. It's tough for a new race team or a new crew chief driver combination. Luckily, it's not really new for me because Chad and I have worked together in different series. It's just we're trying to figure out what knobs to turn with this car. So yeah, we use the first stage pretty much as a practice session sometimes because we only get 20 minutes of practice. So it's we're getting there though. We've definitely gotten the end of stage 2 and stage 3 down, and we're just working our way there.
Crayon 301 coming up, New Hampshire Motor Speedway in a couple of weeks. What are your expectations? You've had an up and down career here. Put you in a modified, and I think you're up front all the time. But you got to do something to kind of jumpstart your season. You think New Hampshire Motor Speedway might be what you need?
Yeah. I feel like when it comes to knowing what you need out of the race car and the feel that you're looking for, I have so many laps there that I know what I need right away. So I feel that is a track that we can if we show up and have some speed, we can sneak one out. And I'm confident with Kevin Harvick's last year. He had a really dominant car, a fast car. So we're gonna do our best to kind of take a look at what they did and go there and have some real good speed.
Before you get there, Chicago street course coming up this week, a ton of unknowns. I've been hearing all the drivers saying there's walls everywhere, and it's going to stack up if somebody gets a little out of line real quick. So what are your expectations? Other than spending some time on the sim, nobody knows what to expect until they actually get on the track this weekend.
Yeah, so don't hit the inside wall, don't hit the outside wall, don't hit another car, and don't wreck. Those are kind of the 4 Ds of Chicago. But I always like the challenge of doing something different. I enjoy doing things that aren't necessarily in most people's comfort zone, because those are typically the things that I excel at. But yeah, I never thought that I would be a part of a street race, street course, road course street race. It's not necessarily something that I grew up thinking, hey, I'm going to do this one day. But I'm definitely intrigued by it, and I feel like the effort and the promotion that's gone into it has been the best. So hopefully it's gotten energy like the Daytona 500, and it's a success, and we continue to do it.
The other don't hit a building. I hear there's a lot of the corners with buildings. So, there's a lot of things that hit. No runoff, which is, could be problematic maybe for some people. Like you say, it's a wall, or it's slow down in time.
Yeah, so with the no runoff thing, I think that just comes more about discipline, right? When we go to some road courses where there's paint, which creates more grip, you can kind of use that runoff as a Band-Aid to continue speed. So I think you're going to have to be very disciplined with your marks and have a fast car.
Well, I hope it continues success. If it doesn't start this weekend, looking forward to seeing you in the Crayon 301 and work your way up into the playoffs. Ryan Preece, driver of the number 41 for Stewart Haas Racing, and let's put it in the playoffs, Ryan. We need as many New England guys in there as we can.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for joining Rivalry Family Media. I'm Bill Thomas. We'll see you at the racetrack.